Hi, I'm Colin and welcome to How to Paint Watercolours. So if you're ready, we'll get started and we'll paint this one. Hello everyone and welcome to Painting Watercolours with me, Colin. This is only a suggestion of how you could paint something. You can use your own colours. These are the colours I'll be using. These are Mission Gold paints, if you paint with Mission Gold. Naples Yellow, Yellow Light, Crimson Lake, Grey Blue, Cobalt Blue, Light Red and some Burnt Umber. Touch of Naples Yellow, bring it through the mountains. And I'm going to vignette this one again, so I'll bring everything in and concentrate your eye down in here. I'm just pulling this Naples Yellow through the mountains. I'll take some yellow light, I'll bring some bright, a little bit of bright areas to it. And I want to take some blue-grey. I think this with Mission Gold is mixed with a white, something we don't normally do with watercolour. So I'm just very carefully bringing it towards the yellow. A little bit more to that and some cobalt blue and some crimson lake. I want to create a violet and I want to dull it down with some burnt umber. I think that will do it. Some water to it and just thin it a little bit. I need a bigger brush, not a bigger boat, a bigger brush. Just want to bring all the light into there, concentrate it in a little bit. This will help if you're worried about painting a full picture. I do want to darken that. So I'm just adding some of the cobalt blue to that. Just take it to a very grey violet. Let's hope that's enough. I'm just going to darken around the edge. It in, but always leaving the other colour that's on it to show through. Don't destroy it. And then leave that to dry. Now that your vignette is dry, I've just re-wet the background mountains and I want to drop some colours into these. Just a little bit of light red. I don't want this to be too strong. I've set the border to an angle so the paint will run. I'm starting from the top with a bit more of the same vignette colour of the sky, just slightly darker with a bit more blue in it. I don't want this to be too strong. I do want it to come down through the water. Peeling it off in this one because it's slightly further away. And as we have some trees here, I don't want it to be too dark in here. Making it really pale as it comes down. I want it to disappear here. And then I want to take some of the Crimson Lake. Not too strong, just drop this in. You'll hardly notice it, but it just gives a variation in the colour. And I just want to scrumble the colour along the bottom line there. Hopefully that will separate the two out between that and that. Then you're going to leave that to dry. Now that your background mountains are dry, take the same colour you made before. And we can just drop some of this in. And once again, I want this to be rather pale. Just added some water to that and I'm just pulling it along. Just letting it all pale off as it comes out over here. Once again, I'm going to take a little bit of the Crimson Lake, drop a little bit in, and then you're going to leave that to dry. Now that's all dry, I'm just re-wetting this hill here while we put some trees on it, and I'm going to take some of that same colour. I might add a little bit more blue to that, and a touch more burnt umber, and some Crimson Lake. Or if you haven't got Crimson Lake, just Crimson will do it. I do want it to be a little bit on the violet side, but not too much. And with the tip of the brush, I'm just going to put these in. Start above the water line and just bring it into the water. I can indicate some evergreens. I want to take a brush, just let this fade out up the hill once again. Just bring the edge of this peninsula out. A few directional strokes which way the land is flowing. Then once again I want to drop some of the Crimson Lake in, but only a tiny bit. It just stops everything being one flat colour. Adds a little bit of interest without being too overwhelming. Tiny bit of the light red as well, I think. Careful with that. Just allow this to come down and drift out. Just moving a little paint off the bottom. I want to take some clean water on this side, and I'm just going to stroke some in on the top here. Maybe a second row there. And I'm going to take some of the yellow and drop it in here, and some of the blue, to make a really nice green, but it has to be a little bit dark. Don't want it too viridian-y, just a touch of red. Just see. Oh yeah, we can use that. Just going to drop some foliage in on these trees, but I want some separation in them, so I'm starting above the water and just pulling it in and allowing that to drift. Some different colours. Drop a little bit of the purple grey in underneath just for the shadows. And the green will change colour slightly, and a little bit more yellow. Drop some of this in. I'm just using the tip of the brush to bring these out. Just even drop a tiny bit of yellow in. Just allowing it to mingle. I'm going to take some of the sky colour and just pull this down. Just want a big mass of trees. Branches out. Once again, I'm going to take some water and just touch the bottom of these tree trunks. And because the board's at an angle, this will start to get them to drift downwards. Just a little bit of burnt umber, and once again some of the light red. I'm just going to work this together. Taking some of the background colour of purple grey. Flicking up some undergrowth. to help break up any harsh lines. And with a damp brush I'm just going to encourage this to fade out at this edge here. Remove any excess paint off the bottom. And then we're going to leave that to dry. I'm just taking some of this extra paint in here and I'm just adding some definition to some of the foliage just to help bring it forward slightly. Just using the tip of the brush. That's all I want to do really with that. I've re-wet the water area, so I'm going to take some of the Naples yellow because it's in the sky, and along the back I'm just going to bring it in. And just a touch of the blue. I don't mind if it turns green at this point. Horizontal strokes. Take some of this colour, I'm just going to mix it with that. Once again, I just want to wash this out. Just basically softening it into nothing. I do want to add a little bit of reflection in. I want to take some of this colour, the sky colour that we use for the trees. Make sure we don't get too much paint on. Dropping a little light red in. Just take a little bit of a damp brush and just fade off that edge. Same with this one. And then I think at this point we should put a few birds in the sky. And then I'm just going to let that dry and then we can put some light streaks in the water. Now that it's dry, I just want to put a few light streaks in the water, so I'm getting a ruler and a craft knife and I'm making sure I'm straight with the edge. Don't cut too deeply with this, it's just to remove the paint off the surface. Hope you've enjoyed this one. This is where you get to sign it, mount it and frame it. I'll leave some suggestions at the end of this video for other painting demonstrations I've made, and I will see you next time. Thank you.